Hi, Kristi.
Hi, Nick.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing great. So thanks for taking the time to meet with me today. What I'm going to do is just kind of ask you a handful of questions, some that are pretty general, a few that are a little more detailed, just to kind of get inside your head about sort of your event planning process for this event specifically. I just kind of want to get a sense of, step by step, how it is you do things, and kind of the tools that you use to do them, especially digital ones. And so just kind of get an idea of how you do it front to back. So first off, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about the event that you're planning.
So I'm planning a 5-year anniversary event.
Cool.
Basically.
Nice. Whose 5-year anniversary?
It's ours.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
It's not till next year, though.
Right. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. So, my idea was we would sort of repeat our honeymoon and go to Hawaii.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That sounds really good. And so, how far along are you in planning this event, would you say?
I am not far along at all.
No? Okay. Yeah, so just kind of at the beginning.
Yeah,
Stuff, right?
yeah.
Well, of course, you've got some time.
I've just sort of been thinking about it probably the last couple of months of what I would like to do next year.
Okay.
And since it's a big one, I think planning ahead is a good idea. And I really want to get our budget, savings in there and just really plan for it.
Okay,
Start
sure.
buying tickets and reserving the Airbnb that we stayed at.
Sure. Well, that sounds good to me. If anyone is capable of handling the budgetary aspect, it's definitely you. Awesome. So, let's see here. So, is there anyone else that will be involved in the decision-making process? Obviously, I know you and I will have a conversation about what we want to do.
We'll have a conversation, but I'll probably ask my girlfriends what they think, because I always ask them about everything.
Sure. Are there, naturally, are there any kind of dependencies outside of, just kind of things like other people that you might be dependent on in order to make this happen?
No, not really. I think it'll definitely, I'll have to make sure that work and everything works out well. But I think having it planning a year ahead of time will make that easier.
Okay, yeah. Any dependencies as far as like hotel or like other reservations go?
So yeah, I would really like to stay in the original Airbnb. The one we stayed at was super cool. It was in the middle of Hilo, and it was sort of like oddly in the middle of like the ghetto part of Hilo, but like sectioned off. And I just really liked it, and I think it'd be nice to like stay there again.
Yeah, sure.
It
was nice.
Process-wise, I would have to find them again on Airbnb. So that's sort of a contingency. If I can't find them, then I'll have to come up with a plan B for that.
Okay, sure, right. Yeah, so there's kind of like, you're already, even though you're still in the early stages, you kind of have a specific idea. So there are those dependencies out there.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And I would really, the first time we went, we didn't get a 4-wheel drive vehicle.
Right, I remember.
Yeah.
Very disappointed.
Yeah, that guy was a shyster. We need to make sure, I need to make sure that we get that 4-wheel drive so we can drive up Mauna Kea?
That's the one.
Yes. We really want to see the space station up there and hike around.
Yeah, me too. Sounds great. Yeah, we didn't get to do that last time, so it'd be nice to make good on that. Kind of all the missed opportunities we want to make up for. To kind of complete the experience.
And we could have upgraded
version 2, honeymoon version 2.
We could have upgraded the vehicle so easily. We just, by the third island we had it down, and I think this time going back to the big island we'll be ready for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's great. Well, yeah, it's nice kind of having I think you're coming at it from a unique approach because, yeah, you do have this, like, vision, but you also know already specifically how you need to execute that. You're, like, already very clear
Right.
on what your resources are for making that happen. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
And that guy's not going to get an aloha from me if he doesn't give us a 4-wheel drive vehicle this year.
No aloha, no mahalo.
Yeah.
Nice. Sure. So let's talk budget. Is there a strict budgetary amount that you are considering, even if it's just kind of a rough figure at this point?
Well, I would hope that the plane tickets are the most expensive part of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
They were the last time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're not really into hotels or spending lots of money. I think it's easy to go on a vacation and the plane tickets be the most expensive part. I mean, and so they're normally like 600 round trip. So for both of us, that's 1,200 round trip. So I would hope the rest of the trip would only be about 1,200 to 2,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That sounds good.
Yeah. If we stayed 6 or 7 nights, that's $700 a night with the same price that we paid for the Airbnb last time. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's like $2,000 for flight and stay, the lodgings.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess if we had another $1,000 to eat and drive and all that kind of stuff.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, are there any other kinds of, activities in addition to just kind of, like any, there's nothing specific that comes to mind. I don't know if, like, skydiving is something they offer there. But are there any other kinds of, like, activities like that you're looking to engage in?
Not really. The first time we went, we had like a bunch of that stuff planned, but I really enjoyed the times when we were just sort of like hiking around and discovering things and just asking people where we should go. I thought that was a lot more fun and more organic of an experience.
Sure.
And Hawaii seems to lend itself to that kind of experience.
Right.
Like if we had stayed on the Big Island longer, I think we were recommended 4 different beaches that we never even got to go to. Like there's so much to do that's free, that's beautiful, and it's outside that you can enjoy that I don't really think we should spend money on anything else.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. That's a great thing about the outdoors is it's very, very economic.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Cool. So kind of getting more into the process specifically, would you mind kind of like taking me through the steps of planning this kind of event? I know you've already mentioned Airbnb as one resource that you would use, but like, yeah, kind of like the process as well as like the tools you might use to achieve those steps in the process.
Yeah, so I'm sort of insane. I'll probably use Airbnb to try to find that specific one that we stayed at. And if I can't find that one, then I'll probably, heart like 5 to 10 of them and then start narrowing them down from there.
Okay. So you like build a list of favorites and then kind of after the fact a process of elimination.
And I won't even use filters while I'm building that list because for me, like, I'll spend double on something that looks really cool. Like, I mean, if it's unexpected and they have something that's worth like spending that much for, then totally I think that's worth it. And I don't want to narrow my options down until I've seen what there is to be offered. Right.
Yeah, you want to know like everything that's out there and then consider from there. So you don't really make much use of like the filters or the sorting or anything like that.
But I do know I do want to be on the Hilo side, or maybe between Hilo and what's the other side of the island?
Kona,
yeah, maybe between the two. But I want to be near the national park, and especially the Volcano National Park.
Okay, cool.
So that might be one of my first filters that I use, is just the map.
Right,
itself.
Narrowing down that like more specific region of the island.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And I mean, let me ask you, why Airbnb? I mean, are there any other like travel sites that you would ever consider using to help you book a location? I mean, assuming that, of course, the location that we stayed at last time isn't available, would you use any other booking resources?
I've used Airbnb several times. It's a trusted source. If I can't find something on Airbnb, which is kind of rare, our trip to Paris was that way. We sort of booked it too late, like our lodgings too late, and then using Airbnb, it was like they wanted $150 for a really crappy apartment.
Right.
And I was just like, oh, it's cheaper to do a boutique hotel.
Sure.
So in that case, I might use a sort of a boutique hotel site.
Okay. Last minute.
I can't think of a specific
resorts.
one I would use. Yeah.
Pun not intended.
Yeah, but I don't think we're gonna have that problem in Hawaii. It's just so beautiful. You could just literally stay in a shack and be comfortable. Like it's not the same as Paris. So Airbnb, I trust it. I get to read other reviews. I usually look at if the bed was comfortable because I'm a light sleeper. So if I can't sleep, I'm not gonna enjoy my vacation.
Right.
And it tells me all of those things.
Okay, so there's like specific criteria that you're looking for within the reviews, and I know Airbnb does that to a degree. They have like that scale, comfort, cleanliness, or stars. But
I like to read the actual reviews, sure. Because I mean, you can kind of scan the reviews and know if the person's just crazy. Like some people will complain about everything, no matter what, and you can sort of scan and tell. Otherwise, you get a reasonable person who's like, I loved everything, but the bed was just so hard and stiff.
Right.
And
sure.
like, oh, that's not for me. Like, that's the one thing I can't not have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, those like user reviews are a pretty important driver of your decision.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Just comfortable bed and cleanliness really is what I look for. Everything else you can really tell from the pictures.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that covers lodging. Are there any other kinds of digital tools that you would use outside of Airbnb to coordinate, like any kind of bookings, like restaurant reservations or things like that, or other activities?
Yeah, so I like to read blogs a lot for that. I like to find, little cute bloggers who go and travel and like to do all the things and take like super cute pictures.
Right,
yeah, those girls know what they're talking about.
It's very inspirational.
Yes.
Right? With the filtered picture at the beach and stuff.
Yeah, and nice. I feel like these cute girls get invited to all the good things. So therefore, it's like I'm a part of the club too. Okay. And I'm like, okay, what did this person do?
Do you do any blogging of your own?
No. I've thought about it.
Yeah.
And I take enough pictures.
You should. Maybe that's how you get invited to those kind of
I think you have to be single for that.
Oh, well, that's okay. You can just Photoshop me out of the photos. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Just let me reap some of the benefits.
Anyways,
trips half off.
That's how I found that really cool beach that we went to on Kauai was through a blogger.
Okay.
And she went there for some hike with somebody and.
Okay.
Like it was crazy. It was hard to find, but when we did find it, the beach was super cool.
Okay.
So I look for things like that, like
sure.
These little like mysteries that are hard to find.
Sure. So in short, you're like utilizing, the internet to basically inform your decisions. Basically, like going to blogs, personal travel blogs, and things like that. Not like some travel guide website or like a government website.
Well, and we went to Paris, the Natural History Museum that we went to. I found that through a blog, and I never would have thought to go to a natural history museum.
Right.
But that one was really cool.
Right, that was awesome,
and it was worth it. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
So I kind of look for that, and I read these blogs. I make a list of like 10 things or 5 things depending on the time period. Usually like one thing a day. Like I want to do and I don't want to miss, and then I sort of research when the things are open to make sure that I'm doing them on the right day.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Nice. And so you would coordinate that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Are there any other considerations that you would need to address before the event, before the trip, that you can think of?
Well, I think this trip will be different. I'd like to take our hiking gear with
Mm-hmm.
us because, I mean, we know we're not beach people.
Mm-hmm.
From our last time that we went,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we sat on the beach for an hour before we were like, "Oh, what's next?"
You can take them out of Colorado, but you
Yeah.
can't take the Colorado out.
You just can't. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I would like to bring my hiking, legit hiking shoes, and maybe even consider camping. I don't know. Maybe,
Okay.
maybe not.
Okay. So I imagine if you're bringing in, an excess of gear like camping gear, you'd have to, choose your airlines wisely,
I
because
guess
if
I
you're going to
would.
be checking bags or whatever.
I guess I would research if there's a 2 or 3 day camping trip that looks worth it first before bringing camping gear.
Right.
And if there's not, if it's all day hikes, then I wouldn't bring
then
it.
you wouldn't bother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's probably another thing you would utilize, like travel blogs and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I also want to see the Kona side.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's more resort oriented,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe we can like sneak in there and get some like beach cocktails.
Okay.
I think that'd be cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have no objections. Excellent. Okay, so fast forwarding to the trip itself. What? I mean, this is kind of an awkward question, but I mean, your role kind of transitions from planner into what at that point? Just like kind of keeping me on track with the agenda.
So actually, since I am so OCD, that
Mm-hmm.
once I start a trip, I like to give you everything
Mm-hmm.
and then just let you drive.
Mm-hmm.
So my role when it comes to the event, this going on vacation, is to relax and enjoy myself.
Sure.
And then your role becomes driving and making sure that we get to things.
Right. The itinerary.
And you know that I don't even like to know what time things are because I stress about making it on time. So
I understand.
Yeah,
that.
my role actually, I step completely out of this and I'm no longer involved.
So it's handed off to the partner, in this case, me.
Yes.
Too. Okay.
Yeah. And that works out very well for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Everyone's happy.
So, I mean, I have to ask you this question. I'm not sure if it's entirely applicable for this kind of thing, but is there any kind of technology or anything digital that you would use during the trip or the event?
Oh, I think, yeah, because we're not going to pay for navigation. You have your iPhone and you just pull the map up yourself.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we don't pay for that stupid thing that goes in your car. I love taking my digital camera with me. I try to make sure that my battery is always charged. And then I usually don't take a computer. I might take my iPad to read on, but I usually on vacation try not to use technology.
Right, try to disconnect.
Just because I use it so much at work every day that it's like a nice break to not have technology with me.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, as far as communication goes, there's really only 2 people at the event, so I mean, communication is probably, if we are separated, I mean, we have our phones. Right.
Well, and I wouldn't be worried, even because there's nothing to do in Hawaii after like sunset. Everything closes, so it's pretty safe. Like, there's no reason to be out. So, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. What about after the event? Is there anything that kind of happens as like sort of a wrap up after the trip? I mean, I already asked you if you do any blogging of your own, but is there anything you do with like your photos or anything of that nature? Yeah,
so I like to put my photos on 3 different storage devices so I don't use them. And then usually like 2 or 3 years after an event, I make this cool like tabletop book.
So you like actually you have them like printed. Yeah. Your digital image is printed and created into a book. Yeah. Is that something you do on your own, or is that like a service that you utilize?
Yeah, so I use usually Shutterfly because they send me these like 50% off coupons. Right. So I get like a big, mad, thick book for like $50.
Nice. So their digital marketing is, kind of the primary reason. Like, because that offer is available, you use them.
Oh, it's super.
Would you have thought about using it without the promotion? Or any kind
No,
of similar service?
I just wait for that promotion to pop up,
Okay.
and then I use it, and that's when I make the book.
Oh, I see. I get
Yeah.
it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
So I'm cheap. I don't buy anything full price. I always
Okay.
wait for discounts.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Nice. Outside of that, is there any other kind of like wrap up for the event that you do? And
No, yeah, not really. Gosh, I usually try not to plan my event right up next to going to work, so I like to have a day or two between vacation and work.
Okay, vacation from vacation.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing. Yep.
Basically, I just use that day because even if I was on vacation, I'd be stressed anyways. So I try to use that day for like relaxing and just getting back into my normal routine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty much all the questions that I have. Is there anything else additional that you wanted to add or inform me of process-wise?
Yeah, I don't know. Gosh, maybe there's this new app I've seen that's like city guides or something like that that a bunch of hipsters have made.
Oh.
That's all about like these
Okay.
little cool restaurants and spaces you can visit. So
Okay.
maybe that would be a fun thing to utilize for finding restaurants because I
Okay.
know we didn't have that good luck the last time.
City guides?
Yeah, it's something like city guides.
Okay.
I bet if we Google that, I could find it.
All right. Yeah, I'll absolutely take a look
But
for
I know
it.
like Seattle, New York, and Los Angeles have it, and Denver was getting it next.
Okay.
So it's all about, these like, which is what we like. We like little tiny hole in the walls that have great food. So maybe we could check that out for planning restaurants.
Okay. Well, that sounds great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there's any other questions that I have for you, how would you prefer that I contact you?
Well, since you can just email me, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, just shoot you a little email.
Yeah.
Our phone call's okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just surprise you in person?
Nah, I'd rather
No?
do that.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, thanks so much for your time, taking the time to talk with me about your process and really go into all the detail that you did. It's really informative, and if there's anything else, I'll be sure to ask.
All right, well, thanks.
Thank you.